Are we ready on the east?
Ready on the east.
Ready on the west?
Ready on the west.
Get going in 3, 2, 1.
All right, Patriots. Thank you for joining us today on Pioneering Change. I'm your host, Farmer Ryan Early. Today we've got three very special guests. First is Michael Griffin, CEO and founder of the Cowboy Protection Association. Michael, thanks for joining us today, brother.
Man, thanks for having me, Ron. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I've been really enjoying the tour of the lab that y'all gave us and stuff we've been discussing today. We can't really get into that yet, but I'm so happy that the PPN store was with us Saturday at the event. Had a great time. I know y'all pulled in Friday, was checking people in early. I mean, I can't say enough great things about the way your crew and the way y'all handle things, and definitely couldn't have done it without you, that's for sure.
Well, y'all put on one heck of a show. We're proud to be a part of it. Today we're going to take a look at some of the clips, highlights, and get a little insight for those of you who were there that may not have got to see everything behind the scenes.
Right.
And those of you who weren't, to be able to take a quick peek of the upcoming video that we'll be releasing soon.
A lot of these I haven't even seen yet, so I'm excited to see it because we don't get to see much whenever we're working and putting these things on.
Oh, I know. That was me sticker in the race car up there. Adding the fresh graphics.
Glad to see your shoulders better after the...
It's been a process. It has been a process.
You know, the vendors that we had there, other than the PPN store and Root Brand products, were all local vendors. The one that was by across from y'all, beside the corn dog people, they actually come up to me afterwards and they said it's the first time that they've ever had a $1,200 day. And they told me that basically they were either going to do or die there, and now they can go buy more products and keep going. Awesome. You know, so I was really happy about that.
All the vendors that came out did an amazing job. Pardon me.
Charlie and Miss Lexi.
In front of the H302 machine. That was a pretty big hit. Did you get a chance to?
I did. That stuff was good. I love the coffee. By the way, I need some of that too. I'm about to go back.
We'll make sure that out there. Charlie Ward making the rounds.
Yeah, you know, Charlie, a lot of people don't know this, but Charlie is just as genuine of a guy. I mean, I met him Saturday morning Friday morning in the hotel, and we sat and visited for a little while, and he's just like all the rest of us. He's down to earth, and you know, there's our stage.
There he was. Yes, sir.
You know, the wind was a little harsh that morning, but we didn't have to deal with the rain. And you know, something that I'd said there at the rally, you know, I said, can you imagine? I said, 600 people are praying for the sunshine and the blue skies. And Friday night at about, well, I'd say 2 o'clock Saturday morning, the rain stopped and we woke up Saturday and we had these beautiful blue skies.
Yes, sir. No, it turned out great. It started out cold.
It did.
I was a bit concerned, but it wound up finishing out great. The weather came out, sun came out. Matter of fact, about 2 o'clock, everybody came in looking for sunscreen.
Right. Which luckily y'all had some.
Luckily, we did have a natural mineral-based sunscreen that didn't have much of it, but the ones that got it sure seemed to be glad they did.
Is the forgive me for not knowing this, but is that roll-on stuff that I used Saturday? Is that out yet, or is that?
Yes, sir.
It is out.
That is out, and that will be up on the PPN store today, if it's not already. So for those of you that have been hearing everybody talking
Yeah,
about
my testimony to Saturday about midday, I was dying. My back was hurting really bad, and I took some of it and put it on my back and started burning just a little bit, but then that cool breeze hit it, and it was wonderful, and it literally got me through the rest of the day, because, I mean, you see how much walking I was doing. But yeah, that stuff's good, y'all. It really is. I highly recommend that. And the hemp balm, is that the stuff?
PPN balm.
Yeah. So I think putting the roll on first and the balm on top.
There's Michelle.
It'd be good. There you go. And Miss Lexi.
It was a pleasure meeting her.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
She's tiny too. Holy crap.
She is a little one. But no, I love what she's doing. Pardon me, with Wave Watch. And
I've been using it.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm digging. I'm not gonna lie. I was skeptical at first. I'm like, oh, come on, y'all, really? I started using the pain and inflammation setting on it, and it's helping. I mean,
I heard nothing but positive from everyone that had them on.
Me neither. I'm fixing to start the weight loss part of it, see how good that works. So.
I love it. No, Michelle was great. Her show runs every day at 3 p.m. Central, I believe, the Michelle Moore Show. So check that one out, guys. She's dropping all kinds of good information. And Wave Watches, she has a link on her site there for those.
And she's got some really, really interesting guests coming on. She had one on yesterday, I think.
Did she?
Yeah. I think it was yesterday. We was watching it driving up here. And that was Charlie, he was met everybody. Sat there until everybody was gone.
That was a good rendering of my experience with Charlie. Laughs, education, and genuine, patriotism. Absolutely. I don't know how else more to put that. And he spent so much time with everybody.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to say about the speakers that came. We didn't have a VIP setting. It wasn't they sat out in the tables and the chairs just like we did, and people just would come up and talk with them, and they would make sure that they spent enough time with each person to really give it a personal touch. Yes, I don't know any other rallies that did that or that are doing that. And fortunate for us, our speakers that we had, they're like family, so they were all about it. They thought it was the greatest idea.
No, it was great. They all came out. Everybody dropped amazing knowledge, and the J6ers that were there, speaking about their experiences, the boots on the table, hit home, right, like that.
Yep.
Walking up and seeing the boots that they were wrongfully imprisoned wearing.
Yep.
Was touching just for me. Now, Cowboy, how long have you been in the professional rodeo arenas, if you will?
Well, I started. I was a rodeo clown and bullfighter for 32 years, and so I started at a young age. Oh, you got to buy the beer. That's house rule.
That's my rule.
All right. Okay. Well, we know who's buying lunch. I started as a rodeo clown and bullfighter for 32 years, and in 2017, a bull had gotten me down, and not to get into graphic details, but it was really bad. Spent 23 days in trauma ICU. I had 4 surgeries and a blood transfusion. It was bad. And God had, I basically sat in a chair or laid in a bed for about 18 months, and God just put it on my heart. He's like, it's time for you to get out of the arena, but he's using the things that I did over the lifetime. And this, I'm going to try to be cool about this, but all the things that I went through that were hard times and life lessons and learning the hard way has put me into the position I'm in now, to where I can take what I learned rodeo and bring it to a whole different demographic of people. We can take and bring our patriots together and give them a unique experience. Not only are you getting to meet each other and put a voice to a face, but you're getting to socialize with the speakers and really understand who you're listening to, instead of just seeing a video or a picture or listening to them live. You're actually getting to shake their hand, hug their neck, and I think it's going to be a really good thing. And I think that with the amount of rodeo experience I have and the amount of experience that my crew has, we can bring a very unique show.
I love it. No, I think you proved that Saturday.
Yeah, I had a great team. Oh man, our team was just out of this world, and I couldn't do it without them. And I'm going to try to do this, and I know I'm going to miss them, and I'm going to be in trouble. But like Miss Lexi, she handled so much with Hunter, and that's another one that I want to give a big shout out to is Hunter. That boy is amazing. I met him today. Lexi took care of question after question, which actually, let me just say, it's the same 5 questions 30 times a day. And but she did it with such professionalism, and your entire crew, the ticket takers, Nurse Christy and Joe for all their help and putting together and bringing y'all to us. Actually, a lot of people think that they know how this started, and there was a phone call Nurse Christy had set up between Farmer Ryan, myself, and Warren. And we were spitballing ideas for sponsorship of the finals. And then Farmer Ryan said, well, if we're going to do this, why don't we just do a rally? And everybody just instantly, oh, yeah, let's get to putting it together. And we've kind of picked our team. Tammy Pittman, she is amazing. She can handle it. When you say, hey, I need something done on a computer or a spreadsheet, she's Johnny on the spot. I mean, she's amazing. My wife, Lori, she took care of way more than I give her credit for. And I stay in the doghouse a lot with her, but without her, there wouldn't be a lot of what I do. And I mean that. We got Angel Bird, she's just phenomenal. She handled all the problems that I couldn't deal with politely, personally. She did. Who am I missing?
Goodness, Joe Daddy, pulling security and everything in between.
That's Nurse Christopher's husband. That's his name. Lori Fisher in the decorating committee. Yep, I forgot about that. See, I knew I'd forget somebody because I'm sitting here trying to remember everybody.
Of course, Warren and Chaz for putting all of us together to start with.
The one thing I want to say about Warren and Chaz, I really just got to hang out and meet Chaz for the first time really this weekend, and I can't tell you, him and Jennifer are the 2 most stand-up people I've. The thing I love about them is they're going to tell you, you don't have to worry about what they're thinking. They're like I am, and like yourself. If you want to know what they're thinking, ask them, and they'll tell you. Don't be afraid. They'll tell you. But Warren trusted me with the first PPN event, and I can't express the amount of appreciation that I have and the respect I have for Warren. A lot of people wondered why do we have to pay to come to this event and this stuff. A lot of people don't understand how much money PPN puts out to help people and to help communities and stuff. And if you keep taking from the cookie jar and never putting cookies back, sooner or later the cookie jar is going to run dry. So it was just a way I thought that we could help PPN. We could help the local vendors. I know Thursday night we had a dinner, and I'm spitballing, but I'm going to say the waitresses walked off with about $600 a piece tips. They probably don't make that a month there,
right?
And sold out every hotel in Bowie, Henrietta, Alvord, and Decatur. That's
a big deal.
That's a big deal in that area. Everybody was like, why did you take it to Bowie? What's that's one whole town. People don't understand Bowie got wiped out by a tornado 3 years ago. So coming in and doing this, we're giving that economy a kickstart and trying to help. We also had a couple who go out and give shoes and socks to the homeless. We filled up their storage building.
Oh, wow.
We've had people on the platform that we gave out their address, and they've been sending shoes and socks, and they were there Saturday night and hugged my neck and told me how thankful they were. And I said, well, you just let us know, if you start getting low, we'll throw it out there again. And so it benefited a lot of people that a lot of the people who came don't understand how much this did for the community and for the area. And really, it's like the first humanitarian project coming to life.
Yes, sir. No, I couldn't agree more. I saw more relationships become whole, more of those who feel alienated, even in their own communities, their own families, feel like they were a part of something bigger.
Absolutely. They don't. They realize that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And they realized how many, because there was over 1,000 people there Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
And we're starting a revival of the old-fashioned way in one community at a time.
Grassroots.
Grassroots, true grassroots. It's bigger than us. It wouldn't have worked out like it did and has been as successful as it was if God's hand wasn't all over it.
Amen. Amen. Well, let's take a short commercial break. We're going to come back and chat with our next special guest. Michael, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate
Look forward to future events.
Absolutely.
All right, Patriots, we are back. Thank you for joining us today on Pioneering Change. We're going over some of the highlights, speaking with some people I think that everyone is glad to hear from. Mr. Michael Griffin was just joining us, and now we have Nurse Christy on the platform.
Hello, Farmer Ryan.
Thank you for joining us, dear, here in
Absolutely.
studio in Oklahoma City, guys.
It's pretty cool.
And we've got Mupp.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about Mupp right quick. How old is Mupp?
Mupp is 8 years old.
8 years old. And you've had him...
I inherited him from my father when he passed away.
Gotcha. So some special attachment, taking care of your brother.
Yes.
And I see he has his little handkerchief on.
Oh yeah, Bill and Coo. He's the mascot for the new Root pet products.
That were just released, right?
Just released within we're talking 30 days.
Right, and those can be found obviously at the Root Brands / Nurse Christy.
Or nursechristy.com. You can get to it either way.
Very good. And we'll talk more about some of those products as we get in.
Yes.
First off, Mupp was an amazing model for the entire event. For those of you that got to meet Mupp, and he's looking at me because he knows I'm talking about him. He did great. He was very well behaved, even around over 1,000 people. He didn't seem to be too worried about it. So I take it whatever his diet supplement plan is, he's doing good.
Yes. He is the Pure Clean Pets, which is the pet version of the Clean Slate.
There you go.
Great for removing heavy metals and toxins that have come from their veterinary medicine. So
In
he's-
food, a lot of people don't
and
realize that
food.
pet food is not produced to the same standards as our food. The heavy metals, the toxins, all of those levels are not the same as what is required for food ingestion. And so it's very important to keep our pets on a product that's going to help detoxify them, even if we feed a clean diet.
Absolutely.
Just the water they drink, the grass they eat when they go out back. We know that, planes are making shapes in the skies, and
Yes.
what is up must come down.
Yes.
So even when we're walking in the grass, pets lick their paws.
They are exposed more so than we are because of those types of contaminants, because we run around with shoes on.
Sure. And we don't
They
eat grass.
yes.
Most of us.
So they're getting the glyphosate, the Roundup. It's not just what's coming from being sprayed, but also what we're spraying. And so absolutely, it's very important. There's a huge increase, and I forget the percentage, but Dr. Christina talked about the number of cancer, the dogs and cats with cancer now versus 10 years ago, and it's
Astronomical.
It's his caller, so he's sponsoring the Farmer Ryan's pet. I'll let you talk about it more than I am.
No, so the collars. This is my answer to what's going on with the caustic chemicals that are being used in pet care products every day, and more so. We're seeing more pills that are approved to stop fleas and ticks. We're seeing more drops that are being approved because other ones are being pulled off the market because they've now been proven to cause cancer. And so
right.
It's almost a repetitive thing that, we got to come out with the next thing because we know this current one that we're making money on is going to be pulled from the market and maybe even a lawsuit filed on it. So
right.
They keep coming out with these new things. The collar uses Blue Magic's pheromone technologies, so it's 100% safe for people, for pets. It's nice because it also has a flying insect aspect to it. So
right.
It'll keep the flies away from you instead of drawing those flies to you. And
right.
Really nice for those of you in the country with a big dog that lays on the porch. They tend to draw the flies up. So now we've got something to help combat that, and that is natural. So yeah, Glad Muck can be a rep. They smell great.
And you have a spray.
Yes, ma'am. And we do have a spray, and that spray combines the same technology but with a deodorizing compound, which is actually great, especially if you're traveling or you have small animals. It's hard to bathe them often enough, and the deodorizing factor works amazingly well.
Yes.
But that spray also includes cedar oil, which is going to give us that tick barrier. So those products are not available yet. They will be out soon. We're still making sure we got all the feedback from all the puppies and kitties to make sure we don't have any puppies and kitties that may not like something in it. So far,
right.
we're batting 1,000. Very excited about those.
And Muppet also uses the CBD for pets, especially when he's when it's bath time. He's had some traumatic events with regards to grooming, so that has helped quite a bit.
Well, it's great that you say that. I've got a lot of groomers, a lot of veterinarians, not just here but nationwide, that stock the PPN CBD for Pets products, and those products are NASC approved. National Animal Supplement Council, for those of you that don't know what that is the FDA for pets.
Right.
In 1982, the director of the FDA stepped down and founded the NASC because up until that time, there was absolutely no regulations or requirements for pet ingredients in food, supplements, and drugs. And so the NASC is a great group. They're not, I'm going to say I'm a big proponent of the NASC. The FDA, we've still got some work to do with. So, and more and more vets are looking to natural options. They're looking to products like what Bill and Koo is offering. They're looking to products like what Naturals by Blue Magic and even the PPN CBD for Pets offer.
Yes.
And I think food is such an important thing. I work with Shawnee Mills here. We've done some work with Bluebonnet Feeds, mostly on the horse, equine, and livestock feeds.
Right.
But we have been doing some research lately with 2 different manufacturers on a organic, natural protein chicken and lamb based diet that it's hard to make, as you well know, it's hard to make anything that's healthy and natural
Right.
and good for you, cheap and competitive with some of the caustic things that are on the market. However, I think for the small pets, we're going to be able to make it very economical to switch to a verified, clean food.
Right.
With the big pets, it gets a little harder to ship 50-pound bags of dog food out.
So, Clayton Thomas, with Root Brands, his parents are veterinarians. So he grew up in that veterinary medicine, and they're very naturopathic. And so when Root decided to take the animal line or the pet line on, there was a lot of feedback from the veterinarians as it was being developed. And with those products, you're talking about the feed, and a lot of us can't do more because there's not the food isn't available, and so you add the Root products to the feed for horses. I mean, Dr. Christina has a pet camel on her farm, so any animal, it doesn't matter. You know, a lot of cattle, the camels are the same way, where they have more than one stomach, so digestion can be an issue, but they can have these. So if you have a steer that's your 4-H or FFA product or project, I mean, these are products that they can use as well. It's any animal.
Now that the USDA has approved mRNA vaccination for even some livestock, it has not been approved for beef yet, but for others it has. I think this is something that anyone that's raising their own chicken, pork, ducks, goats,
Absolutely.
these are products that can be included in any of those
Absolutely.
regiments at an economical price, broke down monthly, right?
And when you're considering the chickens, you're eating the eggs that they're producing, so why not have the best quality feed and supplements for them?
And we know that I mean, Tractor Supply, you know, they come under fire recently, right, for selling brands that have high amounts, not just high amounts of glyphosates in them, such high amounts of glyphosates that they're actually shutting egg production down in farms across America and even local backyard coops, right? So we know that glyphosates, at least at some level, are allowed to be put into our animals' feed, even if it's not enough to make them stop laying. It's still there, and these products can help aid in providing clean eggs and even clean meat and other things.
Absolutely. So that if you're doing chickens, ducks, poultry, you can just put the drops in their water. You don't have to try to get each chicken the drops, but
and that makes it much more economical.
Correct.
And of course, a chicken doesn't need even a whole drop, right? They would need a fraction of that, which is why, you know, a few drops per gallon. Is there a dosage guideline on that?
There are dosage guidelines. It's per 10 pounds. So if, you know, chickens that weigh a couple of pounds, that's the best way would be to do in the water for them.
Very good. Very good. I love that. You know, something I talk about often on here is again, the food that we eat and the food that our food eats, right?
Right.
And so, you know, it's very difficult to get fully paneled, tested, you know, and even at that, do we know that's real on our food? But there are products that Root Brands is now offering that can help at least ensure that if there is levels of things in there that are undesirable, that we can mitigate that.
Exactly. And even if you're not vaccinated, if you're not or the livestock isn't, they're still out in the pastures, like we've talked about.
They're still eating the grass.
They're still eating the grass that's being sprayed, and so even the ranchers that have the clean beef that's grass fed, that's even finished with grass, it's still a question of what grass it is that they're eating. So I would say even if you're not giving them the pure clean pets the whole time, you could definitely finish with the pure clean pets when you're finishing. And
For your
it's
adjustables.
it's yeah, for those animals, it would make a difference, I'm sure.
No, and I'll tell you, I'm going to put it to the test. You sent me with some stuff. I'm going to try it. I'm finishing some rabbits right now. I'm finishing some quail, and I'm finishing 2 goats and probably a pig for the 4th of July party we're going to have. So,
Cool.
I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to see anything visually or not, but at least I'll be, at peace of mind knowing that we gave them
Right.
something to help flush anything that may have been out during that feed out process. So that's
Absolutely.
a very good point.
Yeah.
Geez, this event, man, it was
It
great.
was fun.
Wasn't it?
I had a lot of fun.
I'm so glad
Yes.
you guys stuck around, got to come up to Oklahoma City, tour our lab, our facility, come to the studio, meet the team here behind
Yes.
the scenes. I know a few that were out got to meet Bryce.
Yes.
And now you get to kind of see where he gets to come back and make it happen. I'm very excited to get the video, the highlight reel, edited. They're telling me what was almost 19 hours of footage. I
Wow.
believe is what was captured. So it's a lot to go through. It's probably going to take them at least another week to get all that done, really pick out the best of the best, and make sure that we encompass and try to show everyone that either didn't get to make it, or even like myself, as we're going through some of this footage. There's so much I didn't get to see because we're talking to people, we're moving around, we're constantly doing things or being pulled in every direction, or just trying to hide somewhere for 10 minutes that we don't get to see everything that goes on. And so I think this video is going to be amazing to be able to give all of us that were there and everyone that wasn't there, not just a behind the scenes look, but a look into more of other people's experiences at the show.
Absolutely. And that's something that you're going to offer once it's all edited?
Yes, ma'am. Once it's edited, we'll put that up on the PPN store. That'll be available for purchase. We're going to try and keep it as cheap as we can. Of course, there is fees that cost us,
Right.
We have to recover those, but we want to make sure everyone can get a copy of it that was there, and everyone that wasn't there has the opportunity to view it too.
That's great.
Yes,
I know there was a lot of people that were not able to go, and being able to bring it to them, that's great.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Yes.
I mean, we've already seen a little bit of it. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Nurse Christy, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to take a quick commercial break and get to our last guest of the day.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure, dear, and we've
Thank
got
you,
so much
Farmer
more to
Ryan.
do.
This has been fun.
Bye, Muck. All right, Patriots, thank you for joining us today. We've already had two amazing guests, Mr. Michael Griffin of the CPA and Miss Nurse Christie from Talk Time and the Patriot Party News Network. Now, we have got Joe Daddy on, Nurse Christie's husband. Pleasure to meet you, sir. We have you on the show. We actually got to meet Friday.
Yes, we did. What an amazing show. That rally was amazing, wasn't it?
It really was. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit already. There's so many amazing speakers.
I tell you, it was. And I didn't get the chance to listen to any of the speakers because I was so busy talking to people and giving them hugs and answering questions. And I felt like even that was the most amazing thing I've ever been to.
No, I've been to so many events, different events from motorsports promotions to, rodeos to everything. And that one, there was more of a brotherhood, family-like environment. It literally felt like a family reunion from across the country.
Yeah.
That nobody knew anybody, but everybody knew everybody. It was amazing.
That is exactly what we were looking for to put together. When Michael came to me and Christy and we started this and then you came in and started talking about the rally, I said, we don't want to do a regular rally. We want to do a family reunion.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we got. And I don't know how we did it. I don't know how we did it. It's God's hand. I swear it was God's hand that was over the whole thing the entire time.
No, I couldn't agree more. Short time. I've never seen a production put together in that short of a time that had literally no hitches. I don't think there was any major issue that wasn't immediately resolved between staff, the planning committee, you running around making sure all the fires were put out. Might have to get you a little hat and fireman signal on it. And no, everybody did great. Everybody did their part. Michael did an amazing job putting on the bucking side of it and the bullfights.
Wasn't that the craziest thing ever?
I've been to a lot of rodeos, right? And that was probably the funnest one I've ever been to, and the most engagement from the crowd. Everyone was there. The polls were freaking hot as crap. I mean, that was just, hell, I thought two of them were going to have to leave in an ambulance. Thank God they didn't, right? But
right.
I mean, it was pretty wild.
Yeah, when that cowboy got hooked by that bull, after the bull knocked him off, hooked him, threw him back on his back.
And then threw him off again.
And then threw him off again.
I'm not done with you yet. You ain't going nowhere.
That was amazing.
No, it was really good. Like I said, the livestock, and most people don't know that there's so much that goes into the backside of that. Getting good bulls that aren't just from a local pasture. Those bulls are trained. They're athletes. Those bulls are as much of an athlete as those cowboys that are riding them, and as those protectors that are on the ground keeping those cowboys safe. And I think this event did an amazing job at really opening up eyes to that whole side of it, because going to the rodeos, like I said, as a kiddo, I mean, that was my favorite part of it, was watching the clowns get out there and the Tijuana poker and the seesaws and the barrels, and that is just, I mean, that is the funnest crap ever. And I think what Michael's doing with the Cowboy Protection Association is going to take that to a stage and not make it a sideshow to the PBR or something, that it is going to be the show. Yeah. And I think that's what people want to see. They want to see bulls. They want to see some barrels. They want to see some bullfighters. Yeah. And frankly, they want to see action.
Yeah. Frankly.
He did a great job at making sure there was action packed from start to finish.
Start to finish is not even, From the start of the rally, I mean, the way that Warren lined up all the speakers, and in the order they came in, and it was perfect.
No, the speakers were all on point. I think everyone touched on exactly what they could. I probably could have went on for much longer than I did, but I was trying to keep her short, and there's just too many good people that had to speak.
Well, yeah, you had to save room for Wano Saban to say what he had to say.
Yes, sir. I wanted to listen. And one thing is, we videoed every speaker from start to finish.
That's perfect.
Of course, we won't be able to show Juan himself, but you'll be able to hear
his words.
So, yes, sir. All of that we're going to try to encompass into the highlight reels, at least as much of it as we can. I think we're going to be able to get all the speakers. So it's probably going to come out to over 3 hours worth of footage. So
that's
not like to get in a 90-minute movie, right? It's actually something that's going to be worth having, saving, putting up. And it's the first PPN rally. This was the very first one.
History in the making.
History. And I tell you right now, after seeing the response and that, not only do we need more of these events in the future? We need more events in other areas. And I think with over the next 18 months, you're going to see a few come out of the woodwork.
Absolutely. I think so too. The interesting story there at the very end, it's Saturday night. Everybody's going home. Why not saving always the last guy to leave? This is my people. This is where I belong.
And that's the type of event it was right there.
Yeah.
It was talking, it was hugs, it was praying over, laying hands on. I seen some miracles happen before my eyes, and I hope we caught some of that on camera. I think we did.
I don't think we talked about what happened on Sunday, the impromptu church service that happened. There were 3 people that accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior. There was one lady that had her legs healed, and she was able to walk again. She said she hadn't been able to walk without a cane in a long time, and she was up walking, and we had someone scheduled to come in and give a church service, but he apparently couldn't make it, and somebody showed up. God brought someone to the church. Now, unfortunately, I was unable to make it because of circumstances that were outside of my control. But these are stories that are being told to me, and I just floored I'm telling you, when I say that God's hand was over this event, it was over this event.
Oh, unquestionable.
I was running security. Jay, one of our moderators, he works as a peace officer. He ran personal security for Charlie for a long time, and I took over so I can give him a break. And there was no problems, none, not a single problem, not really.
Smooth. No, one thing I'd like to note, Texas is a 2A state.
Yes,
they
it
openly
is.
welcome anyone to bring their firearm and openly carry that.
Yes, sir.
And I would have to say probably 30% of the people
Absolutely.
or better were openly carrying.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you another 30% had them in a pocket or a purse or somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So, we had 0 interactions, altercations, no ejections from the event.
Not a single one.
Nobody had any issues. And I even talked to the law enforcement officers that came out. I got to chat with them about a pro relief roll-on because everybody needs one of those.
Yes, sir.
And just got to chat with him for a minute and said, appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for your service, right? He was like, man, we love, freedom events because we don't have issues at them. Like they're not violent, unlike events that don't focus around 2A things tend to turn out into the summer of love. So
right.
I felt safe. I never at one time did I not feel safe, even though there was some little bit of craziness. Never did I not feel safe,
right? Because
it didn't matter where you looked. Someone was armed and willing to
step
defend
up
and die if need be
absolutely
to protect. So
absolutely. I know Jay and I both were we're the first ones in.
Sure.
Absolutely. And but there was never a cause for problems. I'm scanning the crowd constantly, and everybody was just happy and smiling and glad to be there and hugging on everybody's necks.
The food, the funnel cakes.
Oh my God. The corn dogs. Are you kidding me?
I didn't get to get on a corn dog.
Oh,
I
heard
about them though.
I must have. If I had more money, I'd eat myself sick. Those were some good corn dogs.
Yeah, the dadgum funnel cake. I always ask them to make mine dirty.
Yeah,
and, chocolate syrup on it, and I gotta say that was one of the best funnel cakes I tried. I don't know if it was because I was exhausted and starving by that time.
Maybe.
However, it was fluffy. It wasn't greasy. It was everything I could ever ask for in a funnel cake. So.
I'm telling you, I had some of that funnel cake, and in my experience, the best funnel cake I ever had.
I had a lemonade, one of the strawberry lemonades, and for me, it was sweet, as you would expect from a lemonade stand.
Right.
However, it was amazing. Chunks of real fruit. That's how lemonade's supposed to be, especially when it's got strawberries. So now everybody there did an amazing job. I know the Bill and Coo Roots Booth stayed busy passing out knowledge, and of course the PPN store. We got everybody their apparel, got them hooked up, and there's still going to be some apparel left over that can be purchased at the PPN store. From that event. That's a limited run. We won't run any more of that. You have to wait till the next one to get an event shirt. However, there is about 15, 20 shirts that they should be getting back up in the stock online. And so when they're gone, they're gone.
Well, you better get on them. Let me tell you, they're not going to last.
No. There's just a few of them, and of course we have the new PPN apparel that has been released, the hats and the black shirts.
Oh yeah,
with
that's
the
right.
new logos. Those are in stock and on the website. So
I'm glad I already have mine.
yeah, well, we sold out of those too. So
Yeah.
it was good, but you know, I can't thank everyone for coming out enough, for showing support. The locals that showed up,
The locals.
that
Weren't they
were
crazy?
like, hey, what's going on here? Well, there's a Patriot rally, a freedom rally, and you know, free tickets to the show afterwards. And they're like, really? Where do we get tickets? Right over there. I don't go over there, and they got their tickets. So I was really surprised. That was probably 10 different times I was approached by someone that was just checking the event out, come out a little early, want to know what was going on. That was on Friday, actually. Probably 5 or 6 of them, and we're like, we'll be back. And I saw them the next day. They came back. They supported. So
Yeah.
apparently they liked what they saw. They liked the vibes they were getting, and hopefully they signed up on PatriotShoot.com.
That's what I heard. I heard there was over 100 people, possibly a bunch more than that signed up for PPN.
I know we sit down. Lexi specifically signed up 4 or 5 for Talk Time. Helped a few get in PPN.
Yeah.
For anyone that's having problems getting into Talk Time, guys, reach out, shoot a message.
Absolutely.
You can go to ppncbd@gmail if you need help. We're happy to walk you through. If you're not in Talk Time, you got to get in Talk Time.
Absolutely.
That's where the real intel's coming down. That's where
That's where
health, wellness,
relationships with other people, other patriots. You're going to be able to connect with people that think like you do.
Grow your pack, right? This is my
Absolutely.
pack. So
Absolutely.
grow your pack.
This is my family.
PatriotShoot.com. Go there, sign up. The most kick-ass, free truth social media platform out there.
Not free. You have to sign it. You have to pay.
Yes. Freedom. Freedom. I mean, freedom. It is a paid platform. Obviously, there are tremendous costs that come with running a platform
Absolutely.
at that level.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook makes a lot of money on advertising. Well, there's no advertising on Patriot
Yeah,
Shoot.
we're not selling anybody's
No.
information. We're not selling your demographics off to somebody else so they can market to you. So you're gonna pay a little bit to get a lot.
Absolutely.
You get a lot.
I'm very happy with it. And again, Talk Time is a part of that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Talk Time's great just to get to hear all the different people from different areas of the country come in and talk about what's going on in their regions, their areas.
Yeah, and where else can you go to listen to the truthers talk to you? People with their own shows can come in, talk to you, and answer your individual questions.
Yes, sir. I can usually be found in there Sunday evenings. So anybody that wants to get
That's
at me, hop in Talk Time.
I know.
Get on Patriot Shoot.
Yeah, Chaz, Warren, Michelle Moore. We got them all.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget live shows every day at noon and 8 o'clock every weekday.
Yes.
On
Central Time
on thepatriotpartynews.com. You got to type in the Patriot Party News.
Yeah, without the "the," it's not the same.
No, it's not the same. No, can't prove that. Geez, anything that you really want to send our viewers and patriots away with? Your takeaways from the show?
I was just so overwhelmed by the amount of love and family building, and that's exactly what we aim to do.
That's a good way to put it.
That we are one big. I feel so good with the amount of hugs that I gave at that event. It was just incredible. The amount of love that was floating around in that place, intoxicating.
Amen.
So,
yep. Again, Michael Griffin, Cowboy, founder and CEO of the Cowboy Protection Association. I look forward to him letting us know the next date that he's looking at and seeing what
comes up next.
What we can put together to bring more Patriots out.
Because we are definitely doing this again.
Yes, it's coming. It's coming for sure. And Joe, where do you and Christy specifically live? Y'all are in Northern California?
Central
California. Okay.
Right in the middle, right between Fresno and Bakersfield, right in the middle.
Very cool. Very cool. So anybody that's on the West Coast, get in Patriot Shoot. Reach out to Joe and Christy.
Yes.
They can probably point you in the directions for your local areas to maybe meet up with some local Patriots. And of course, get in Patriot Shoot. Say, hey, let's grab coffee.
Right. We have the Signal app that PPN has divided up into regions for the United States. Almost every state has its own region, so that once you get signed into the Signal app that puts you in there, and you'll be able to contact everybody else that's on the Signal app for your state.
Nice. I was unaware of that. I need to get signed up for that.
It's not hard.
Very
We
cool.
can certainly walk you through it.
We'll get it fixed up.
Yes, sir.
Geez, next week we've got another very special guest joining us. I will wait until we get a little closer to release that. I would again like to thank you, Nurse Christy and Cowboy, for driving up today, coming to Oklahoma City, seeing behind our scenes, up our skirt, and a little more about how we do things, meet the rest of the team.
Yes.
And being on the show today. So,
absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm Farmer Ryan, and this is Pioneering Change. Until next episode, I'll continue searching the past to grow a brighter future for everyone.
Are we ready on the east?
Ready on the east.
Ready on the west?
Ready on the west.
Get going in 3, 2, 1.
So that was the start about 7-8 years ago. That's how I started. I realised I was taking them everywhere with me.
Are we ready on the east?
Ready on the east.
Ready on the west?
Ready on the west.
Get going in 3, 2, 1.